Hello, everyone. We start one more episode of Let's Talk today, talking about Germany, Conscientiology in Germany. Back in 2013, I think, or 2012, I was at the CIEC, the Center of High Studies of Conscientiology, to study and attend courses when I met a group of foreigners at the time, right? And they were altogether about 6 people from different nationalities. That really caused me a very interest to know exactly what they were doing there. So I decided at that time to make a documentary about this interchange, right, that was happening at the time. And I found 4 people from Germany, 4 Germans. They were there. 2 of them are here today, and it's a pleasure to have them to talk about conscientiology in Germany. It shows that the Germans, right, have been long connected with conscientiology, and that's very interesting. To know why, we'll be talking about this today. But beforehand, it's important to say the principle of disbelief. Don't believe in anything, not even in what we talk here, what we say here in our debates. Have your own experiences. That's very important. Let me introduce this team of very nice people from Germany. Anne-Catrin is German, graduated in business administration and engaged in conscientiology since 1996. She lives in Germany, volunteers at her Prudentia, and is a member of the Invisible College of Parapsychism. Welcome, Annie.
Hello, Mário. Thank you for having me here. Thank you for the invitation. I'm very glad to be with you guys.
Thank you. Regina Tschud was born and lives in Frankfurt, Germany. She has a degree in business administration and is the project manager of an e-learning platform for medical professionals. She's also a trained mediator. She's currently a volunteer at ASSIPI and also a member of the Invisible College of Parapsychism. Very nice to have you here, Regina, today. Thank you for coming. Very nice. Jörn Schmidt was born in Frankfurt, Germany, moved to Brazil in 2012, and is currently based in Foz do Iguaçu. He has a degree in electrical engineer and certified project manager, working as a German language teacher. Started to study conscientiology in 2006 and has been a volunteer in conscientiology since 2010. Jörn has been coordinating monitoring the parapsychic interstitial dynamics of extraterrestriology since 2022. Thank you for coming. Welcome, Jörn.
Thanks for the invitation. I'm happy to be here. Hello, everyone.
Very good, people. It's important to say that our debate is based on conscientiology. What is conscientiology? Conscientiology is a new science that studies the consciousness as a whole. Consciousness, me, you, each one of the human beings on this planet, right? And this new science is based on 7 pillars, right? Bioenergies, multidimensionality, pluriexistentiality, self-research, cosmoethics, holosoma, and universalism. I think there is someone with the mic open, and I can hear, I don't know who is, but if there is someone with the mic open, please close, because there is some interference. People, so this is conscientiology. Our debate will be based on conscientiology, right? Our institution, ASSIPI, is specialized in the study and the research of parapsychism, right? ASSIPI stands for International Association of Interassistential Parapsychism. And our project, which is ASSIPI in English project, we promote the conscientiology all over the planet by giving lives and works and courses in English, right? So that's that. So let's get the debate started. Ulisses, that's with you.
Hello, dear friends. It's a great pleasure to be here with you. My name is Ulisses Schlosser, and of course, it will be very interesting to hear from our friends for us to know what is going on with the consciousness research in Germany, in Europe. So I would ask you if you can say a few words, a few introductory words about yourselves, about your personal view, about Conscientiology, something about your work in Germany, and where are you talking from? Where are you now? Your cities. So please, who would like to start?
I think I can start. Okay, I'm here in Germany, the south of Germany, more exactly the Black Forest region, very close to France. And yeah, you were talking about conscientiology in Germany, and well, I think at the moment we are in a very good moment of conscientiology in Germany. We had a very big event in Frankfurt last semester, and I'm very glad that I'm here today discussing with you, Ulisses, and also Regina and Jörn about conscientiology in Germany. I'm not sure if I should start with a direct question from you, or maybe Regina and Jörn also want to talk where they are seated right now, where they are eradicated. I don't know.
Yes, please.
Well, hi guys. Nice to be here with you today. Well, I'm located in Frankfurt, right in the middle of Germany, and yeah, so it's a great pleasure to be here with you. And yeah, as Anna said, I think it's a great moment in Conscientiology, or for Germany in Conscientiology. I feel that things start moving forward, you know, and so it's a great thing that we are here together today talking about that subject. Jörn, what about you? Where are you located?
Yes, I'm also very happy to be here and to talk with you about conscientiology in Germany, and what Mário had said, that he had made a little documentation. I remember that time. It was the second time I was here in Foz do Iguaçu. I was born in Frankfurt, and I decided to live here in Foz do Iguaçu on the CIEC campus, much closer to the evolutionary group, what I felt in numbers. So here is a lot of people. What I felt from the evolutionary group, I like to work more close, but my connection with Germany is even very strong.
Oh, very nice. And so, can you tell us something about the early years of the movement of conscientiology in Germany? How that began? Anne-Catrin or Regina, do you remember that time?
I think I can start. I will start with it. I'm not sure if the others have to close the microphone, because I think there's still echo. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, the early years of conscientiology in Germany. Yeah, I have to give credits first to Katja Arakaki. She was the first person in IAPC at the time. It was IAP still in the 90s in Rio de Janeiro. Conscientiology was just on this in this institution, and she went to Germany, I think, for some months, and there she spoke the first time in an informal class with other colleagues about conscientiology in Germany. This was in '94, she told me, and at that time I I already have moved to Brazil. I was born here in Germany, but then I moved to Brazil, and in Brazil I contacted Conscientiology. So I know Conscientiology from Brazil. So my curriculum is a little bit different than Regina's and Jörn's. So I did the whole teacher training, volunteering, and so on. 10 years, lived in Brazil, and then in 1999, we had the first event where Conscientiology was officially present in Frankfurt. It was at the biggest book fair in Frankfurt in 1999, October. Always in October we have a big book fair here. And there we were present with Conscientiology books. We had recently the book Our Evolution translated, and then the other Portuguese books at that moment it was Projectology and 700 Experiment. And then in 2004, I moved to Germany. At the time, no, I didn't move in 2004. I started to give classes in Germany in 2004. I was living at that time with my evolutionary duo, Eduardo, in Mexico. But a German flight attendant, a very nice German flight attendant, he somehow contacted me, asking if we could not start Conscientiology in Germany. And that was very interesting. That I said, okay. He came to Mexico. We had one meeting, and I said, okay, we need this and this and this. I need some support. And he said, okay, I will do everything. And then in 2004 already we had the first public lecture and the first course. So I gave on a weekend and during the week, I gave courses and public lectures in 3 locations, Heidelberg and Frankfurt. And so the whole thing started in 2004. And then it was very interesting. We saw that it was growing. More and more people were coming. And so in 2006, Eduardo and we decided to move from Mexico to Germany because we were seeing that Conscientiology was getting bigger. More and more people were interested, and then I think Regina and Jörn they can take up from here, because this is they entered then. I think it was in 2006 the courses, and they started volunteering right away. So I leave it now the rest with you guys.
Very good. So Anne, can we say that you were the first person to develop this contact with Conscientiology in Germany? Were you the first person?
As I said, I gave credit to Katja Arakaki because she was the first person who spoke about Conscientiology to some people in her group. She was studying, I think, German in some months in some group. It was not an official lecture of Conscientiology, but she was talking. So, but as in Conscientiology, we know how important it is to create a holothosine. So I wanted to give this credit to her because she talked about it. This is like opening up a new idea in an old holothosine, and this is not easy. So she's the first person who talked about Conscientiology in Germany. It was an informal way, and yes, I then opened up in the formal way by representing the IPC first in '99, and then afterwards we had different institutions, and then we had the public lectures and all the Conscientiology courses here. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. And Regina, Jörn, do you have some history to tell us?
Yeah, for me, Anne-Catrin and Eduardo were the first teachers I had contact with, and it was in 2007. So in the beginning, as Anne-Catrin said, we entered there, and it made a lot of sense because before I was looking for something that doesn't have rituals, that has some logical reasoning. So I like this scientific approach a lot. So that caught my attention. I think the primary interest was the out-of-body experience, because I experienced this in my in my teens, but I never found a reasonable explanation for that. So I was very happy to know more about that phenomena in a non-mystical way. And yeah, so I was happy to come across Conscientiology at that time, and it made a lot of sense for me. So I stick with it, right?
Yeah, very good. I have made the course in 2006 with Regina, and they started to have a good group experience also. I was before in different groups, more mystical way, and I was thinking I need something different. And when I find the Conscientiology and the way of talking about out-of-body experience serious, more scientific, I thought that's my stuff. And in my case, I try to go out of body by my will, and when I made it, then I knew I have to change my life. And in that moment, our group was very strong, and Anne-Catrin gave with Eduardo regular classes. So the group grows, and we had so many activities. This was wonderful that time.
Very, very interesting. You are talking about the power of your personal experience and the power of self-research. This is the basics in the conscientiological movement, yes. But what do you think? How was the transition from those first periods to the present moment? What happened? What made you change to make your work today so interesting right now? What happened from that moment to now?
Well, maybe from my point of view, I can say for me it was an interesting step, and Anne-Catrin encouraged us there a lot to go to CAEG, to visit CAEG, so the campus in Brazil, and to contact other people, to learn about the structures that are there, to see the laboratories, all the infrastructure that is there, the tertularium, for example. So I thank Mário for sponsoring this memory of our first encounter there, and going to the Iguazu Falls and all of that. It was very nice. So it was interesting to see the reaction of the people. On one hand side, I experienced a big joy in the people. The Germans are coming. And I said, what's happening here? And on the other hand, I felt like a little bit like an alien there, because people were watching us. So I thought, okay. But it was a very, very nice welcome there. And so people helped us a lot. They went with us, they translated things to us and so on. So it was very nice to be there. And I think that was a step out of this German bubble, so to speak, right? To meet other people in Conscientiology. And that was a very nice step from my point of view.
Yeah, for me, it was also a big step. When I started with my experience of out-of-body, to write them down and to make some research on it, I know that I have to change something in my life. And this was when the consensual recycling had a strong influence of my life. And I changed many things, profession, almost everything. And when I came more in contact with the people of Conscientiology, it was like coming home. I came here at the time when we met Mário. I came here together with people talking about some experience out of body with some groups, and I explained my perceptions. And then I felt there were people with the same or with experience that they took also part of that work we have done in the extra-physical dimension. And this was something when I was starting thinking, what am I doing here on that earth? It's not only the life, day-to-day intraphysical life I had, and I put more advanced for the research, what I'm doing when I was not awake, as we are here, when I was working with the helpers together and the whole group, not only the intraphysical one. This was a big change.
I would like to say something about that time when we first met, because that intrigued me really. It drew my attention at the time that we had so many foreigners at the CIEC, and you guys were there together with other German people as well. That was very interesting, and I must confess I was doing something totally different. It was like a documentary about parapsychism, and I changed completely my project. My intention was at that time to make the most of you guys there, and we had people from Switzerland, from Mauritius Islands, I remember, from Angola, from Argentina. So it was a wide variety of nationalities. That was very interesting. I would like to ask a question, guys. What do you think today, considering the time and the first time that we started connected with Conscientiology, what for you is the main cue for someone to get connected with Conscientiology? Is it through a course? Is it through, well, at that time we didn't have the lives we have today, right? So I think that more people can be connected with through lives today. But at that time, I would like to hear from you, because we're talking about the early works, right? So at that time, what do you think was the most important connection? The courses, the news, or the publishers or books? What do you think that prompt people to get connected with Conscientiology at that time?
I'm not sure. I could not say that it was books, because books, they come as a second step. That at the moment, I think we needed to be there energetically in front of people. So I think these 10 years of working presential, like live, today we have a lot of online, okay? But at that time, we needed to be there with our energy, and like sometimes it was every other weekend, in order to build up a group. I think it was to give courses, to talk about intermissive course, to help people to find out if they had an intermissive course. I think it's about that. I think we had to explain the consensual paradigm in person. This is my opinion. I'm not sure. Regina, Jörn, would you agree, or would you say no? If we had at that time online courses, it would have been the same result? I'm not sure.
No, I think it's right what you say. From my perception, I remember all the effort that you guys, Anna and Eduardo, did, coming a lot of weekends during the year from the Black Forest to the Frankfurt region, and doing all that effort and all the explanations, recycling for people and so on. So I think it was very important to have that at that time. It was another time. We didn't have these opportunities like we have today. And from my point of view, it was very important to have these direct encounters, and also to have certain of the intrusions, joint energetic works. These were really important things from my point of view. Yeah, this consensual bond from my point of view.
Yes, I agree with you. The personal contact for me was one of the points which are most strong, because I felt so well to talk about things I could not talk before. Maybe in other groups I talked about things like out-of-body experience and different phenomena, but in this group it was family, and the classes and the contact with the people, with Eduardo and Anne-Catrin. they really were our epicenter here, a group. And I felt in the classes, in the courses, we had more experience, we had concepts to think about, and this opened the mind. When the parapsychic phenomena comes more and more up, then I can feel the connection that we had before that intraphysical life. And this was great. I think the impulse, the most strong impulse, was the connection or the re-encountering from the intermissive class, from the intermissive course.
Okay. Mario, perhaps better than anyone, they can tell us what happens with German people. What kind of people are Germans, I think, spiritually talking? I think, what goes on with German people in terms of connection with conscientiology, but spiritually thinking?
Very good, very good. I was about to ask the same question.
German people. What can you tell us?
It's very, very nice to say what people are Germans. So it is interesting when you talk in Germany about the death. Okay, that's a little strange. But when you talk serious about out-of-body experience, about concepts and the science, then the people going backwards. What is he talking about? And the first thing we had was the question, is Waldo a guru? What is this exact, or in what group are you working there? This is for the German people, when we start talking, mostly first a little suspect what they are talking, and then it needs a time. And when the people come to the courses and they can see, oh, it's true, and the style is really more scientific, and there we are talking about concepts and have the disbelief concept, and we practice and have experience, and then the people say, okay, that's good, and they do not leave anymore. It's very interesting. I think that's a big difference. Here in Brazil, when I moved to Brazil, I felt the people are more open for the multidimensionality, for the ghosts and so on, and the classes are full, but when the class is over, they're gone. And this is a big difference, a very big difference.
Well, from my point of view, it's really depending on where you are in Germany, you know, it's a different story if you are in Berlin or if you're in Frankfurt, people encountering there. It depends on how old are the people. Probably, I think there's a young generation coming that is more open to different things, but more in terms of spirituality. I think in general, the church belief, people that believe in the traditional church, the numbers are decreasing a lot. So in that sense, people are very, how can I say, they're not blind believers in any sense. People are very critical, but they also take into consideration if it makes sense to them. Let's see more what is behind that. I would say so, right? So depending very much on who have you in front of you.
Yeah, but I would say the same what Regina and Jörn already talked about. I would like to also point out that in these earlier years, we normally found recyclers, so not inverters yet. So this is also an important thing, because so people normally, sometimes when they go to a crisis, a life crisis, they open up a little bit. So in the different public lectures that we gave, I found that a lot of people came to the public lecture because they felt there was something missing in their life, and they went to a crisis. So they had a certain age, and then they were opening up. So as Regina said, depending on where you're going, where you're giving classes and so on, some people come through the phenomena, but other people are not coming through the phenomena. They come because they are interested in conscientiology and not so much in projectology. So I think we have a very interesting public here in Germany. And I must say, from the point of view as a teacher, we have a very demanding public. So people are demanding, not necessarily in a bad sense. It's very important for an instructor of conscientiology to know that when we give classes here in Germany. So people are critical in a good sense. So the disbelief principle is very important in Germany. People really take you by the word. Okay. So yeah, I think we have an interesting audience in Germany, different from other places. Yeah.
Very interesting. Well, Ligia Decker made a question, and I suppose that you all answered that question. She was asking about if there are differences in the way people start experiencing conscientiology through parapsychic phenomena or in a different ways, and I think that you have already answered that. So that's very good. But before our time is over, please tell us what is currently being done in Germany regarding conscientiology. What you are doing in your work with conscientiology in Germany. Well,
I think Regina should talk.
Yes.
Oh, why? Well, I think at the moment it's an interesting time, as Anne-Catrin said. We had several events here in Germany. One was already mentioned. It was the existential balance event here in Friedrichsdorf near Frankfurt. And it attracted a lot of people from Conscientiology, from all over the world, right? A lot of people from Brazil were coming here, but also from other countries. And I think that was an interesting movement. And from here, people went on to other countries as well. So it was kind of an international movement that we encountered here. And I think that was very nice. And kind of in parallel, we also started preparing a workshop that we had in Berlin. It was dedicated to the topic of desomatology. So it's the soma, what we call also in day-to-day life death, or the process of dying. And we gathered together a group here in Germany interested in this topic. So it was really nice to see that also beyond this workshop that took place last November, people are interested in the topic, and they want to continue with the research. So it's not only, and that was at least my hope, right, that we will not only have this event and then it's back to day-to-day life, but that we continue with research here in Germany, because I think that's an interesting thing to do, and one of the pillars that we need to develop, right? The self-research and the group research. And in that sense, I'm very happy that there is this interest and this movement that we have here right now. But we also have other activities, and I don't know if you guys want to talk more about translation, probably, Anne or Jörn.
Yes, it's nice to see that we have a translation group, and In the past, we had some activities with different organizations in the Conscientiology. And as we are here together, Anne-Catrin from Rio Pendencia, Isaac with Regina and Extra Counts, and now we have more activities together, and this is very good to see. The activities comes up from the necessities the intermissivists have. So we have a translation group, and we translated some books, or we are translating books and also articles. And this is very good to see that we have there different people coming, not only German from Germany, we have Brazilians living in Germany, we have Brazilians living in Brazil, we have Germans in Brazil, and that's something which is very interesting. We can say that here we have now a new phase of Conscientiology in Germany, which is multi-organized. So not only from one organization in Conscientiology, it's from more than that. And another group is the group of writing. So this is also a necessity. When we have our experiences, it's good to share it, to pass the information that the people have to the opportunity to read something. You said about books. That's a second or third step to publish books, but it's important to write. So now we start also a little group of authors, and we are writing. So this is very, very good.
Okay.
Yes, and I think that here in Germany it's a completely different structure, right? Like in Brazil. In Brazil, we have a lot of consensus-centric institutions. We have a bunch of invisible colleges researching there. But here in Germany and also in Europe, we are not so many people, right? So in terms of working together and providing something to the audience, I think these cooperations Jörn mentioned already between different institutions is very essential, right? And not to kind of copy the structures we have there. We need to be very, how can I say, efficient, working together so that we can make the best use of it in order to provide an assistance to the people here in Europe and in Germany, of course.
And if someone wants to get in touch with the conscientiological ideas or the study, it is possible to have any kind of contact to make that easier. For instance, an email address. Is there any kind of contact that is available for the people who is interested in Germany? Do you receive these people? How do you work with that?
I think normally we have Isaac, like Regina is one representing Isaac, and then I'm representing Rea Brenencia. For example, last semester we gave a public introductory online lesson or online lecture. So here we always can contact new people and so on. So we have the websites. Not in German, I think. Regina, do you have in Isaac the German? No, okay, but in English. So people who normally German, they speak English, enough English to contact at least in English the international institutions, and then they will find their way to the German activities also. Maybe Regina, you want to speak a little bit more about that?
Yes. Well, Isaac is very international, right? Even if you would write in a German email to Isaac, would be no problem because there are people that understand German, right? So we can react to that. So for sure, as Anne mentioned, all the institutions have social media channels and so on, or even here it would be possible to leave a comment below and to say, okay, I want to get in contact with this or that institution, right? And people would get back to you. So what we try in ASSIPI is that we, therefore, that we have international events, for instance, the International Week of Conscientiology, where we invite a lot of other institutions to present their specialty. They can get in contact and have a kind of orientation. You know, if people come, for instance, because of the phenomena, they can find very interesting topics during the International Week of Conscientiology, or other topics like past lives or existential programs or life project. What is it? Why I'm here for example. So what we try in ASSIPI is to give this orientation. And then if a person really wants to enter in one topic, because I think that's very important, that a person can come in contact with Conscientiology and then see right away, that's the topic I'm interested. For instance, we had one person coming to a Bridge Cafe that we had during the International Week, which is an open conversation where people can come with their topic. And she was telling she was so interested about ecology. And so I brought her in contact with Paraecologicus, which is a pre-IC dedicated to these kind of topics. And this is how we work, that we get in contact with the person, we see what is the demand, and then we refer them to the contact that we have.
Yes, we just need a pit stop now to check out some comments coming from the audience today. Renata Machado. Renata, thank you for your participation. It's nice to have you here today. Renata says, hello, my dears. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I'd like to know, what do you feel people in Germany need more regarding conscientiology, like courses, books, conversation groups? I think that we more or less talked already about it, but I think that Renata is referring to the present moment. So people, what would you say to Renata concerning this? What in Germany need more regarding conscientiology? Courses, books, conversation groups?
I would say all of that.
Yeah, I think also that's all of that, but I think a conversation group as a beginner in order to welcome people and to understand their demands is very important. I think if we have just our scheduled courses and we just deliver the information, it's not the same thing as doing a more horizontal like interview as we are doing here, but with people to open up, to help them to open up, to bring their demands, because we can see that people who come today, sometimes they come, as Regina just said, they come and they want really a specific sub-discipline of conscientiology. So we have to be prepared to find out to which specialty, to which ICI we could help the person to get the information and so on. And I think therefore conversations groups is a very good start. Maybe Regina and Jörn want to talk more about that.
Yeah, what I've perceived is with the groups of conversation, when you start the group about the disoma item, that I can feel many people have an interest, and when they have interest, we have a debate for some months, and this is very good. And what we can see also, for example, the bridge debate in German, this is activities which the people have the opportunity to listen to something which is not only in the classes. Some of them, they know the courses and they want to have new information or different ones. And some people are new and they want to hear something, how does it work in praxis? So I think the courses will come in some months, maybe. Important here is to see that the last courses of the basic stuff in German had some time ago. So I think it's good to start to give classes in German language, because the courses in presence in German language is not only good for the students who come, it's also good for the inter-assistential work we are making in every event. So I think this is a big difference to give a class in German language or in English. Oops, I have an echo. And I like to add something. Okay, you're back. I like to add something about the contact. As Regina and Anne-Catrin said, all the institution has a contact. extracons.com has also a homepage in Germany, in German language and in English. We gave today a class about interplanetary assistance in English, so that we all have activities. And when the people come, then it is important to see what do they want. And I agree with Regina. Most people have some item they want to profound, and then we make the contact to the organization who was specialized on it.
Very nice. We have all the comments here in our participation. Eliane Voslao, thank you for the participation, Eliane. Eliane says, I would like to congratulate all the German team to make Conscientiology ideas available in Europe for so long time. Indeed, I join you in this. Congratulations. You are very productive. Yes, you are. Very nice people. And Adina Oprea from Romania. Thank you, Adina, for the participation as well. Adina asks, does the dissemination of Conscientiology in Europe, mainly in Germany, have specific attributes that make it different from that in Brazil? That's a very good question. Very interesting, because it's a very specific about the German people. Is there anything different that makes, like, because we had like an existential balance last year, having 101 people. That's amazing. What's special in it?
Yeah, we must say that this existential balance was organized by Brazilians living in Europe. Okay, so this is interesting also, because I think we talked about the mix. We have native speakers, and then we have a lot of Brazilians who live here in Europe and who help a lot to transmit the information not only to other Brazilians in Portuguese, but also in the native language. And this is a big challenge, I think. About dissemination of conscientiology at the moment, I could not say what is the big difference. I can talk about the beginning when we started in 2004, more or less. I remember that in Brazil at IAPC we did telemarketing. We called people, and this is something you cannot do here in Europe, at least not in Germany. You cannot, call people on the telephone. This was never something we could do. So there are some cultural aspects that we had at the time. I think today no one calls people anymore, also in Brazil. But at that time, I remember I worked at IAPC in the 90s, and I called people in their homes, and we could not do this kind of dissemination here in Germany from the cultural aspect. You could not. There's a limit. You could not do. And at the moment, I'm not very good in dissemination. So I think social media and all these things need a special training for people. Maybe Regina can say some word, because she did the whole dissemination with videos and so on for the Berlin course that we just had in November.
Well, yeah, thank you very much for the question, Adina. Nice to see you here. Well, I think in essence, it's what we already said here. I think sometimes it's very important to, but maybe this is something not only for German, but in general, that we need to take into consideration the cultural background. And things that work in Brazil or in other countries doesn't work in Germany. And therefore, I think it's so important. And this is maybe, if I can say so, my advice in general, you need to listen to people that are natives in the language, to understand their taste, to understand their what they are interested in. Like Anne-Catrin already said, it's not about, okay, we bring the news to them. It's about understanding what is the evolutionary need of the audience, the public. So I think that's important. And I think this might be different in every country. I think Adina, for instance, she was one of the persons responsible for the course in Romania. I think she did very well this how can I say, researching and understanding what is the need of the people there in the country. And I think this needs to be done in every country with every cultural background.
Jörn, would like to add something?
No, that's I agree what Regina and Anne-Catrin had said. It's important to see what is the cultural background of the countries, because the work is very different, I think. But what I felt on a other point of view in Brazil, here we have some intermissivists who came together in a country which is more open for concepts. And in Europe, we have some history with lots of wars and the reorganization. So the extra-physical reorganization has another task. And this has also an influence how to contact intermissivists.
Very good, Jörn. We have lots of comments and questions coming from the audience. I'm loving it. Look at this. Now we have Elke. Elke, thank you for your participation. She says, me and my husband found the group because of the courses in Frankfurt. Very good. Then we go Aliani again, Aliani Voslaw, asking, what are the plans for courses in Germany this year? Why in German? In the language? Oh, that could be an interesting question. Is there any course coming spoken in German?
At the moment, it's very easy to give online courses. Presential courses at the moment, we put it on hold because we need to create first a minimum legal structure in order to receive, fees for the courses and legalize the whole issue, But we are definitely online with the groups and so on, and we can prepare to that course. And we hope that soon we will be starting also presential courses again, and then with that minimum legal structure we try now to create in Europe, which could then serve as a base for all conscientiology, all different CIs, So because this is one need that we have to do also, conscientiology as a group.
Yes, and then she goes, have you ever thought about opening a YouTube channel with webinars in German? It could be very directed to the German public. Very interesting. Any consideration on that? Have you, Regina?
Well, we did some lives in German, right? We have this in ASSIPI, the German debate, for example. It's not too much. We can have more in the future. Yes, for sure.
Very nice. We have a comment from our friend Christina Rakaki. Thank you, Christina, for your participation. Christina says, hello, everybody. Congrats for this activity. Thanks, ASSIPI, for promoting this live. And then we go, I'm just jumping from the next Christina comment here. According to your experiences, what might be the effect of conscientiological activities from Germany? to the reorganization process and to the EU? I think it's a question primarily to Anne-Catrin, right?
Yeah, thank you. That's a very interesting question. Do we have another hour to discuss? Because when we start with this very interesting topic of reurbanization, I try to wrap it up. I think conscientiological activities from Germany really have make a big difference, since we find the intermissivists who are willing to do their individual recycling, which then leads to the group recycling, which then leads to helping reurbanization process, because extraphysical reurbanization is like a recycling process from extra-physical to intra-physical. And we intermissivists, I think, in Europe, specifically here in Germany, we are very aware of our responsibilities in this bigger process. So we like normally the issue of reurbanization, extra-physical reurbanization. Normally it's very, people are very motivated when we talk about the issue. But this is the theoretical side. The practical side is doing your own personal recycling in the path, more or less, according to your existential program. And I think here we have some difficulties. I'm including myself, okay? So I think this is a very big issue. And yes, I think conscientiological activities will help very much to get forward in this big planetary project that we call extra-physical reorganization. Thank you for the question.
Regina, Jörn, any comment on that?
Maybe a little comment about the work of the Penta practitioners. What I can felt when I had that move to Brazil, the connection of the people who are working actively with activities in the extra-physical reorganization. And here the Penta practitioners, I felt a strong connection that the helpers use that connections to help in specific cases of the reorganization. And this is a big change.
Very nice. Ulisses, I give it back to you for the final considerations.
Well, I think that our time is over. We could ask many more questions, okay? But I suppose that maybe we should have another discussion to enter in more details about contents. But for a first glance, it was very interesting to feel what kind of movement is right now going on in Germany. So it was a very interesting view right now. So thank you so much, okay? And I wish we will have another conversation, maybe in a few months, okay?
That's very good. I actually thought about talking to people from 4 basic countries at the moment. This is the most, I think, prominent countries in Conscientiology in terms of what they're doing to have events and congresses and courses and lives and so forth. It's Germany, Romania, Portugal, and Australia. So Germany has been really amazed. I have been amazed at how much you have done there. And I would like I'd like you guys to tell what have you been doing, or what can you say to people from your institution. I have extra cause, Jörn, I have representation Anne-Catrin, and Isaac, Regina. I'd like you to tell people what, if you have any course coming up, or if you have any tips on what to do and what to show them, right, from your perspective, from your consciential-centric institution.
Yeah, at the moment at Ream Credencia, I'm more into a teacher's training. So we have 2 teachers training, which are like 10 months courses, very intensive courses. here in Europe this year, but unfortunately it's not in German or in English, it's still Portuguese. So we have like in Portugal a group, and then we have the Brazilian group which lives here in Germany, in Switzerland and so on. So I'm into that at the moment. But also Reaprendencia has the possibility to give advanced courses and introductory courses. So they have the whole curriculum, let's say. So easily it's we can have these courses also in English. So what we need is people who want to help to organize a group, so help with dissemination and so on. So if we have like 10 people, 15 people, for example, who are interested in fundamentals of conscientiology in English, I think it's easy that Reaprendencia, like Eliane Voislav, she is the coordinator of Reaprendencia, International Reaprendencia, we could start to give courses online. I think at the moment, online is the best thing because of these legal issues that we still have to solve here before we can give presential courses again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, from my point of view, I said I give very much importance to this listening, right? Listening, what are the evolutionary demands of people? And as I'm volunteer in ASSIPI, I could not come up with a German course or something like that. But in April, and it's April 7th, we will have another Bridge Cafe, and I'm organizing this together with a great team. And we are receiving people with their own topics, so they can talk about what is interesting for them, what are their questions, what are the projects they are interested in, whatever it is. So we don't give an agenda for the people, so they can come, they can debate in small groups, and they are great conversations, right? And from there, we can help people to give this orientation or to come up with a project or whatever it might be. It's up to the people, right? And everyone is welcome. It's not in German so far, it's in English, and we also try to have other languages in the future. But for now, the common ground, so to speak, is English. And yeah, you're very welcome. You can find the dissemination for this event in the future.
Yes, from the point of extra cons, we are developing our area of the integration of internationalization. Renata is the coordinator. And we have two volunteers, one in Germany and Raquel and Yatra in Switzerland. And we are debating how can we contact the intermissivists. And here we have now the first courses like interplanetary assistance in English online, which was today starting. We will have more courses on that. And we have another course about the consensual basement, which we are translating in German language. So we will start now with have more activities, and who like to participate to the development in this organization is very good invited.
Ulisses, your final words, your wrapping up comments.
Well, I wish you all a lot of success in your movement, okay? And I think that it's a very great moment. I see that it's a very promising scenario. Now we have not only you three people in Germany, there are other people working with Conscientiology. So I would think that it should be very interesting for us to understand how you are communicating between each other, okay? But to enter this kind of subject, to understand your movement, we should have more time. And more than that, I'm very interested in listening about your contents, about your personal research, about the contents of research in Germany, okay? But I think that we will have another moment ahead. So thank you so much for the opportunity too. Okay. I wish you a lot of success. Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation.
I thank you to share the host today with Ulisses. Thank you, Ulisses, for your participation. Thank you guys for coming. That was really amazing. I really would like to hear what is going on with Germany, that we see so much success. That's really good to have you here. People, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.